everybody, and welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole, and today is the 18th of February, and we're here for a daily crafting vlog, so let's get started. Well, good morning or good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me. Today is going to be a very short vlog because I have a lot of editing and everything to do in the background. I have a lot of filming to do for my booktube as well. It's a pretty big video that I've got to do for that, and it's going to eat up most of my day, and then I have to edit that and get that out today along with this vlog as well. So it's going to be just basically a check-in day today. As you know, Tuesdays are generally my filming day and all that sort of stuff. I have videos that I have filmed and I have to edit, and as I said, I've got a big video that I've got to film for the Women's Prize for Fiction content. It's just sort of, yeah, it's in front of the computer. So not a very exciting day, but I do have some check-ins to do and a few things that I want to get finished. So tomorrow we'll be back to doing craft and all that sort of stuff. So today is going to be pretty quiet. Although I will be doing some stitching tonight because I'm going to need it after being on the computer all day. So right now it's just going 9:30, so it's the beginning of my work day, and I need to get myself sorted. I've got the lawnmower guy coming this morning as well, because he's been not well either, and so yeah, so basically he's coming and doing all of that, so it's going to be a little bit hard to film anyway because that'll be a bit of a noise happening. So I'm going to get some of the stuff edited and all that sort of stuff, and I'm pretty sure by the time you've seen this, Patreons have already seen the video that I've edited because that's already gone going up, and I've got to export it. That's all I've got to do because I've been doing a little bit of editing this morning already. So let's turn the camera around and have a look what I got up to last night. Hey, so you can see that it is starting to come together. I'm so excited. I can't believe like how small it is. Like the charts are just going to be super cute, especially with the finish that I've got in mind for it. And if you didn't hear how I was going to finish it, I'm actually going to get a fence paling from Bunnings, and I'm going to make it look really rustic, so stand it up, sand it back, all that sort of stuff so it's not rough, and put some hooks on it and hang it in my house like a sort of like a mantle, I guess, or I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to hang it yet, but I might be able to even hang it out here on my bookshelves or something along those lines, you know, the cubes that you see in the background, so I might be able to hang it there. But what I'm going to do is put magnets. I'm doing each of these charts individually, and then I'm going to put magnets on the back of them, and then be able to mount them on the fence paling. So I might have to get like a bit of a wide, like a fence paling to me is going to be wide enough because I think that they're 5 inches, so that'll give me a little bit of wood around each one, but I may have to get a wider one. So when it comes time to it, I'll work it all out. So, I'll take you with me to Bunnings and see what we can get and all that sort of stuff. So basically what this means is some of my other ones like Glitter House Village, even though I want to do that as a cushion, I could possibly do it as because it's not really wintry, that's quite colourful and whatnot, so I can put this out at Christmas because this is very Christmas orientated, and then I can put out the Glitter Village throughout the other year, and then maybe find, I think there's another one that Gail's doing, I can't remember the name of it, I'll have to look it up, and I don't think that is Christmassy either, but it's a good way to be able to swap them out, and maybe even, you know, do like little the months in the middle and then just have the houses on either side. Like Main Street is another one. I forget who the designer of that one is another one that comes to mind, and just have like a little street houses, but that I can swap it in and out when I want to. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Actually putting magnets on the back so I can just swap them in and out. Yes, I still will have to store these, but they're small and they won't be hard to store. I'll be able to put them in like tissue paper and then store them nicely and maybe, you know, stand them up and all that sort of stuff. And they'll stick together too, which is another reason why I'll put the tissue paper around it, or maybe some cloth or something along those lines, just to protect them, and then I'll be able to use them. And then basically, if the girls want to, they can, you know, take a set, and they could possibly do the same thing in their house. So yeah, so I was thinking that that's how I was going to do it. That's how I feel like doing it right now. So that could change, but I am doing these individually. I don't want them as flat folds, because then that's like I have to store them. It'll depend on the size of them. I think these end up being about 4 inches in height. And then they're going to have like maybe half an inch all the way around of fabric, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how we go. So they're nice and centered. And then, as I said, using the magnets, I think is going to be a good way to go. And then I can get containers and actually store them in containers, you know, like those little containers that I get from, like, for scrapbooking and stuff like that. I could possibly store them in that while they're in tissue paper, excuse me, and then they can stack. But I'm not going to say whether I'm going to get this finished this week or not, but it is moving along quite nicely. You can see what I've done. I've just got to put a darker colour in here. It's this brownish sort of colour. I think it's called Brick, is the colour from Weeks Dye Works. So that's it there. So there you go. That's what it looks like. That's the colour I've got to put in that line. That's why I haven't done that yet. So yeah, so basically I only have this, obviously I've got the windows and the doors and everything to do on both of these, and the candy canes, but I reckon I'll be able to get this done, because I did this. I went across here and I did this in one sitting. So I should be able to get this done tonight. And then that'll just leave the doors and windows, and then I'll just have their little flower basket and stars, because I've got a star that's got to go over here, and then there's a group of stars here, and then there's a flower basket. So that's what it's going to look like. So yeah, it's going to go pretty quickly, I think. I might be able to, and then I've got Friday night with my stitchy buds. So, and then I've got this down here as well. So I'm thinking that I might get pretty darn close. But as I said yesterday, I do stitch pretty slowly on 46 count. So like, while that, you can see that it is quite tiny. When you put like my finger up against it, you can see that that is pretty small in comparison. So like, yeah, my pinky finger is probably the best way to there you go. My pinky fingernail is how big it is. So it's not very big. It looks bigger on the camera, but yeah, it is only going to be about 4 inches in size, which is quite a nice little size. I love how small it is. I love how beautiful my stitches look. Even if I say so myself, like, you have to admit those stitches look really good. I honestly think that I am going to end up being on 36 count and higher. I love this 46 count. I think I'm loving anything that I'm just stitching with one strand. I'm actually really loving. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And I love the variegation as well in this Weeks Dye Works. Like, you can see here I've gone backwards and forwards, so it's given it a stripy look, whereas here I've sort of, yeah, I've gone down and come around, and so you get in that patchy look, like that weathered look, and I love that look. And I do one cross at a time, just in case anybody's wondering. With Fancy Floss, DMC, I do one leg at a time, but when I'm using Fancy Floss such as Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colour Works, Gentle Arts threads, or a variegated thread, I do one stitch at a time. That's so like your silks for you and all the rest of it. If it's monochromatic and it's not variegated, then I just do one leg at a time, and then that makes me stitch a lot quicker, and I just go backwards and forwards. Whereas this, I sort of just travel where I can to get around, so I don't have jump threads, and it does feel good on the back. And I'm glad that I waited, because I'm doing the waist knot method with this one. I'm using one strand. I can start with the loop method, but it's easier for me to just do, you know, the waist tail and knot, and that's why you'll see threads often hanging around on my because I've got to wait for them to be covered. So this one won't get cut because I think it's from over here, and I've put the knot there, Sorry, I moved the camera. And so this is all full coverage in here. So this will get covered up and then it's buried. So I don't have to flip my work or anything, because I hate flipping my work. I am the laziest stitcher on the face of the planet. So I've just been learning all these different ways that I can do things without having to flip my work. Because when I find I lose my momentum, is what happens, is I get into the zone of stitching and I become quicker as I go. But then if I flip my work to bury the thread, I lose my momentum and it's like I'm starting again. So I'd rather just do this and bury them. So there I've done the last stitch and then I've just ran that up in the middle of the stitch it'll be, and then that'll get covered and I'll snip it off when I get the 1 or 2 stitches away from it. I've got this to fill in as well. So this is the same as this up here. So that is what that will look like, and it'll look all decorated, but I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm hoping you're liking seeing the progress and all the rest of it. And of course I will do a stitch with me on this and add it into next week's. So yeah, I will do that at some stage over the weekend, or maybe even Thursday or something. I might do it and then drop it into next week's videos for the stitch with me, because I didn't do one this week because I was on that little piece and it was really hard to film because I was mostly doing that with one hand, and then I sort of put it into I didn't have anything to hold it in, so there's no real stitch with me coming this week. So but yeah, I am really happy with it. I hope that you're enjoying it as well. And these little candy canes are so cute. Look how little they are. So yeah, I'm going to do all the fill-in and everything over the next couple of days. So hopefully by Friday we should be finished. So you'll get your check-in on Saturday of what I've done on Friday. So you'll get to see if I finished it or not. So that's exciting. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so as you've seen, I've done a fair bit of stitching as well. So like I think that as I said in that video where I was talking about, I think that I'm going to be getting a lot more done on that piece. But I also did some other stuff last night, and let's have a check-in for that. I think you're going to find them very, very cute. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the finishing things that I've used in that as well. So let's go and have a look at that. So last night I did not only did I do some stitching, I also did finish this one off. So this is completely done now. So we have our little backing with a little house. Looks like it's glowing. It's a lovely fabric too. And we have the trick or treat, and we've put that chenille Bennett, I think it was, yarn around the outside, and it's a bit thicker, so you can see it's quite a thick one, and it just finishes it off really nicely. I love how it looks. It looks a little bit shaggy and all that sort of stuff. And this one I didn't like make hugely stuffed either, so this is just so it can just sit in my dough bowl, but it's a fully finished one, and I'm part the way through this one. I was getting pretty tired last night. I've come around this corner, so you can see what that one looks like. This one is like a little bit of a feather yarn that I'm using, but they work well in place of the chenille ones by I can't afford to get Lady Dot's creations. I love working with their finishing products and all the rest of it, but they just end up being not cost effective. So I went a different route, and I went looking for things that I could use. So whenever I'm out and about, I check out yarn and all that sort of stuff, and we've got so many different yarns now that it's making it a lot easier. I love this finish where we've got like a bit of a shaggy one, and you can see they're quite different in finishes. Like this one is a chenille and it's got a bit of a silvery sheen to it. This one is like a fluffy one. I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera, but it has like it's got a trim on the back of it, so it's actually put into that, so it's got that flat edge, and that's what I run along the seam, and that's what gives you the fluffiness on the outside. So, and I'll grab out some other ones and show you what other ones I've got that I've picked up from time to time. But I'm actually considering, I've got a white shaggy one like this one here, so I'm thinking that I'm going to put this on this. And you would have seen yesterday that I cut this, and I cut the envelope for it, because I've decided not to put a strip around the outside, because that would make it too big. So I am just going to, I've got to make an insert for this, but I decided not to put the that fabric on the around the outside. I'm just making a smaller cushion. and then I can make my insert for it. And yeah, so that is what I've done. I have not washed this yet, so but I've cut the back fabric and everything. So what I thought I would do is actually sew it all together, and then I'm going to give this a hand wash. But that means that this here won't fray or anything like that. It won't get any smaller. This side's a little bit in a little bit, so I do have to cut a little bit off the sides. But the top and the bottom I'm going to leave as it is. And so it's actually going to bend around a little bit. Like, a lot of people say, oh no, you should really put a border on it and all the rest of it. I've decided not to. And yeah, so it won't be a really, like, it won't be stuffed like this one here. It'll be more of a slight stuffing in it. So it's a little bit flatter, as you can see on this one. It sits a little bit of flat, whereas this one sits a little bit more rounded. Because it's overstuffed. So I'm not going to be overstuffing my insert. It's more, it's not a cushion to be used. It's more of a display. So it'll be a softly, it won't be overstuffed is what I'm trying to say. So it'll end up looking like that. So I don't necessarily need a lot on the outside. So that's why I ended up cutting it like this, and then I'm going to trim it. So let me just go and grab the trimming to show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so I have several that I can use, but I decided to go with this one because see how it's got the little bits of brown, like we've got brown in here. There's quite a prominent amount of brown, which is a similar color that's in this one. So this one is, I've put this one up against it, and I really like this. Even though the fabric is blue, I actually like the look of that. So I am actually going to put this one on there, and this is called I think I got this from Prices Plus, maybe. Yes, I did. I got it from Prices Plus. You can buy this stuff online. It's called Faux Luxe. It's a polyester. And I think I paid like $3 for it. So I've always got this leftover stuff. Like, I will never have to buy a trim in this color ever again. Basically is what I'm saying. And it's the same trim that I've used on this. So that is that one. So you can see here, this is the blue one that I used. Okay. And then I've got several different colors of it as well. So I've got this with like a maroon in it for maybe your more primitive ones. I've also got it in just a plain purple. Not a purple. It's like a purplish grey. Like, it's a grey, but it looks a little bit like it's got a purple hue to it. I thought about putting that on there, but it just didn't go right. I've got some with purple in it. I've got the plain blue. And then the one I used on the Trick or Treat one, which I will probably use on most of those Halloween ones. This is called Velvet Plus. And this is a round one. So this is like a large chenille. Okay, it's called Velvet Plus. It's by Burnett. And I got this from Spotlight, I think it was. That's the colour, if you're looking for it. I got it from Spotlight here in Australia. Inspirations, yes, is actually Spotlight. So, yeah, it's a super bulky 6. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind actually, like, making a nice jumper or cardigan with this because it is so soft and so nice. Would make a great baby blanket. But, yeah, so you can see there that is actually a round one, whereas this other one I got from the cheap shop has that flat backing. You can actually see that a bit better on that one. And that's where the brown is, and then you've got that whitish sort of look. And I think you can see there, when I put it up against the chart, it actually looks really good against the piece. So it looks really good. I'm pretty happy with that. Not only did I get some of those, but I also have some of these. These ones are Velvet Yarn Imperial. This is called Mauve. It's a polyester, soft and luxurious. I'm not too sure where I got this one. I think this I might have got from... I think I got this from a cheap shop as well, but you can see this is a smaller chenille looking one. And that I have used this. This is good for going around the outside of your flat folds and all that sort of stuff. So I've got this in various different colors. So that's a black for any Halloween pieces. Got some red for Christmas. I got some green, which would go nice. I could do a twist for that. I got some plain what do you call that, beige bone beige, and then I got this beautiful blue, which that looks really blue on camera. It is actually more of a tealy color as well, and I got it in a deep maroon as well, which it looks really good on primitive stuff, cushions and stuff like that. And of course I got it in a white as well, and so I can do twists if I need to. What other color did I get? Oh, and I got it in a gold as well. So I got it in that goldy color, which is really pretty. And that is, yeah, that's how thick it is. It's not overly thick, but it's great for little cushions. Like, you can definitely get it on there. And I just used the invisible thread. I did at one stage, so that's all the chenilles that I've got, or velvets as they call them. So I've got plenty of colors, which is great. And yeah, so I mean, it is a lot. If you don't do a lot of finishes, it is a lot, but I often do stuff for people as well. I got this one from AliExpress. This is again, this is a chenille, but you can see that that is really small. Okay, that's smaller again. So you can get them off AliExpress as well. I think I paid like $2 for this, or $1 or something like that. But this would be good to use as a twist. Like if I wanted to do a red, white, and green one for Christmas, I could do it as a twist and it would work really well. So that's why I've got that one there. And of course, like, actually, let me just bring that out and you can actually see this. It's not much of a size difference. Okay, sorry for the shaky camera. It's not much of a size difference, but you can see that the one that I got here in Australia is a little bit thicker than the one I got from AliExpress. So just be aware of that. And it doesn't really give you much information either. Like, I went back and looked this up and there was no real information. I just knew that it was a chenille. I could tell by what they had shown me that that's what it looked like. So I was pretty happy to get it, even if it wasn't too thick. So yeah, so that is what's going to go on the outside. I think it needs a bit of fluff. Everything needs a bit of fluff. Even though it's a decorative one, that's what I'm going to go with. So I will bring this down a little bit more. I need to trim it down a little bit, and then that way it'll get nice and centered. But that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to finish this off at some stage today. But look at that, we have a fully finished piece. Look at me go. So yeah, so I'm really happy with what I've got done. So yeah. All right, I'm going to go and make myself a cuppa, and I'll probably sit down and do a little bit more on that. And of course, when I'm finished, these things, you will get to see them. Okay, so how cute are those? Aren't they so cute? I absolutely love them. So they will go into the doll bowl as soon as they're finished, and I'm looking forward to being able to walk past and see them every time I walk past the bowl. Okay, so as you've seen, I've got some finishes done, and I'm nearly finished the winter one. Once I'm finished that, I will show you the pictures for that tomorrow. But that is it for me today. It is now about 1:30 and I have a lot to get done in the way of editing. I've done all my filming and all that sort of stuff. So now I can just have something to eat, make myself another cuppa, sit down and start editing these videos. And I hope that you enjoy everything that I've been putting up. Sorry that this one is such a short one. I had a bit more planned today, but because the lawnmower guy came late, he was supposed to come on the weekend, so I was to be able to film earlier, which meant that I could get more crafting in, and there was just a series of events that did not happen. So here we are, 1:30. I need to go and have some lunch, and so I can get everything edited. Yeah, I will catch you in the next video. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and hit that like button, and leave me a comment down below. And I don't know, leave me a snowflake today in the comments if you're not feeling chatty. Other than that, let me know what you were working on, and of course I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.